This episode of Weed and Grub is brought to you by Blank Brands. Blank Brands is a compassion-priced line of products.
Hold on. What do you want to do? Like a what is it called?
What is what called?
What is the brand?
Blank Brands.
Right, but what is the name of the brand?
Blank.
No. I know the space where the brand's name should be, but what is the name of the brand?
It's Blank Brands. And you asking that is actually kind of cool because Blank Brands is kind of like an anti-brand.
Oh, tight.
Yeah, instead of putting money into expensive, flashy packaging, Blank Brands keeps overhead low to offer the highest quality products at the best possible price.
I'm going to try and repeat what you just said.
Okay.
They keep overhead low so that you can afford great products.
Yeah, well, their motto is all killer, no filler.
Yo,
Yeah.
I fuck with Blank Brands.
Yeah, so they just
Tight.
put everything good on the inside, and then they don't spend a lot of money on, all of the trappings that aren't necessary.
I love it. Streamline your life.
Yeah.
So what are some edible flavors of Blank Brands?
So the Blank Brands gummies come in flavors like pineapple butterscotch, watermelon mojito, root beer float, and my personal favorite, island guava.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and their chocolate bars are made with the highest quality ingredients, including Belgium dark chocolate for you and golden caramel milk chocolate for me.
I am a Belgian boy.
Yeah.
100%.
And I'm a milk chocolate girl.
Okay, so what's the name?
Blank Brands. And they're not bougie. They just taste super fancy without breaking your budget.
Ooh, I'll keep a pinky up while I enjoy.
Go to blankbrand.net to learn more. Blank Brands products speak for themselves. All killer, no filler.
Blank Brands.
Hello, and welcome to Weed and Grub.
I was sitting out back where we're staying, and I was reading that new book. Well, it's not. It's new to me. I'm going to start over. I was sitting in the backyard reading a book.
You sound so reverent. I was sitting reading a book outside under the sun. Like you're all fucking, your like intellectual cred is like lowers your voice. So you're taken serious. I was reading Mary Jane.
Yeah. In a smoking jacket
Oh,
next to a fireplace outside under the stars.
were you twisting your mustache as you read and going,
Just loud enough so the neighbors could be like, I think he's reading.
I think that sounds like someone reading.
Ah.
Oh,
Yeah, that's what I do in the backyard here every night. Try and impress the neighbors
by reading.
By reading.
In the backyard. That's such a like a Port Townsend move too, because it's such a quiet, beautiful community here. You could hear someone reading next door.
The pages flipping.
Yeah.
A highlighter squeaking through a notable passage.
Never use a highlighter. Sacrilege.
Really?
Oh no, I never mark up my books. But I was just gonna say, we are in the land of the quiet reading Zoom. Do you know about this?
No.
There's a paper in Seattle. So we're in Washington. We're in Port Townsend.
Keep talking. I got to burp.
Oh, it's coming up. Okay. There's a paper, the Alt Weekly in Seattle. It's called The Stranger. It's a great paper. They do a bunch of cool stuff. They also have the Hump Fest. Do you know about that? Porn film festival. They do like a bunch of wacky cool shit. But one of the things that they have that I just learned about because of Julia Sweeney, she joined and made a whole video about it. They have like a reading thing where everyone gets together and they read. They used to do it at a hotel where they would like all assemble in this room and read together and have drinks.
Quietly.
And it was like enforced quiet.
Cool.
Yeah. And now they're doing it on Zoom. And Julia Sweeney just made a whole video about it. She was like, I'm so excited to be reading on Zoom.
I love that reading accountability. That's fucking. I could use it.
I love reading next to someone.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm sorry to interrupt your reading story.
Well, it's okay because I haven't read all quarantine with the exception of when we put our phones down for 72 hours.
Yeah.
And I read a lot and it felt good. So being back here in Washington where it's quiet and there's deer walking through the front yard and hummingbirds in the backyard and I've been reading this book by Dan Barber, who is this incredible chef and someone I really admire. If you don't know who Dan Barber is,
Thank you. Yes.
go on Netflix, go to Chef's Table, and he has an episode of Chef's Table And his episode, for me, is one of the best ones.
What's the name of his restaurant again? Blue Hill?
Blue Hill
Yeah.
Farms.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll get into his story in a second
Mm-hmm.
of who he is. But I was reading, and I had taken one of those blank gummies, one of those root beer gummies.
Yeah.
And I read a passage about corn, and I said out loud to no one, vegetables are amazing. And it was just this like moment of like, it was honest.
Did your light click on next door? And then they were like,
Yeah.
yeah, dude, totally. I feel you, man.
Yeah.
Vegetables are amazing.
And then someone clicks on from that one. You guys talking about vegetables over there?
They're amazing.
Right? Yo, you like radishes?
They're dope.
They're so dope.
Yeah.
Don't say potato. That's a tuber. All right. Good night, everyone. Yeah, I do love a radish. It's my favorite veg right now. But
Butter and salt.
butter and oil stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just like caught myself saying out loud, vegetables are amazing. And it felt great because being out here in nature and being around all the vegetation that we're around and trying to eat a little bit better, take time to be underneath the stars, I'm feeling restored while everything around me is still burning. And I have a little bit of guilt about that. But to take care of myself, to help the rest of the world is kind of where I'm at.
Give that a little breath because I totally am in agreement with you. And I also know the feeling of like, yikes, like we left California just as things got even crazier there. And now we're here with, space and trees and some really beautiful air and, eating crab around a bonfire.
Yeah.
But it's also okay because it's, okay to take good care. Is that an earthquake?
What is that? Oh, it's a big vegetable. It's a beanstalk.
Oh my God.
It's a jackstock.
That was a really weird rumble.
Yeah, it was.
Wow.
This is the place where Jack's beanstalk would happen.
Totally.
And the giant just sits up in the clouds.
Yep.
Reading. That's what a thunderstorm is. Ah, the giant's reading.
I think it's okay. I think but I also totally know, when I think about just all the craziness and hardships and stress and everything, like when you're having a day where you're like, oh, I just went for a walk on a beach where there's no one else and I, breathed and looked at the waves. Yeah, there's definitely, for sure.
It's nice to smoke weed in a different way right now. Like, I think I was using it to cap an emotional terror at all times so that I don't explode into flames.
Right.
Flames.
Flames.
Ah. But being here and getting high reminds me about why I love weed the most. Know what I'm saying?
I do know what you're saying.
That's just like a part of my life within my flow. Puzzle pieces are fitting together in my brain box. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I took a bath the other night. There's a clawfoot tub and I filled it all the way up and I put in this mustard soak and I basted myself in a bubble bath basically with this mustard soak that was incredible. It just leached every bit of tension out of my body. And then I took some tincture and I got in bed and I could kind of feel it happening, but I wasn't even really aware. But like, I just moved my body around the bed several times, just going like, ooh, and then like I snored and then I snored so that I woke myself up and then I moved my body and then I fell asleep again and then I snored some more and I was like, and I was just like, I felt like a little badger in a den, like clean. And I mean, I don't think badgers are actually known for being clean, but like, that kind of like burrowing, hibernated, warm, comfortable feeling of like bath, tincture, bedclothes, all the space I needed to just feel like safe and contained. It was fucking awesome.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You know what you just made me think would be a really cool bathtub because you said clawfoot? What about an Ursula bottom tub?
What?
So it's a jet black tub, and instead of claw feet, it's Ursula tentacles.
Ooh.
And then when
octopus tentacles, right?
No,
Are you thinking
Ursula.
specifically Ursula?
Specifically Ursula.
A Disney themed tub.
Because then every picture you take taking a bath in that tub, you look dope as fuck.
Like I'm Ursula and the bathtub is my bottom half?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
How fucking cool would that be?
Fucking crazy cool.
That's fun. That's a good tub.
Yeah. Poor unfortunate souls. I'd be like bathing and singing and fucking.
Right. Oh, bubbles are coming out of it like
Yeah.
her cauldron?
Oh, fuck yes.
Fuck, man.
I just need a couple of more eels for pets and I'd be set.
There you go. Yeah, just put on Archie, put a flotsam fucking costume on him.
I feel like I've pulled it up to show you actually. There's a still shot in The Little Mermaid of one of the poor unfortunate souls and Archie does the face when they're like the little like.
It has a mustache. It has a long mustache. I do know
and
that
it just
one.
is like this sad-faced little kind of like thing that exists on her cave floor. And sometimes I look at Archie and he's like, I haven't eaten today. And I'm like, you've had 2 dinners, buddy. Stop trying it. Poor unfortunate soul.
What up, Mary Jane?
How's it going, Mike?
We're having a good time.
Yeah, we are.
Welcome to Weed and Grub, everyone.
This is a podcast about cannabis, comedy, cooking, culture, calling shit out, baths,
reading. Oh, we're coming in hot.
reading in baths.
Yeah. What a hot take already. Vegetables are tight. Baths are cool.
I like reading in baths and vegetables. What is that? Are we retired now? Did we just retire here?
Welcome to the Shawl Cast, everybody.
Oh my God.
Where we're coming to you live from rocking chairs, sipping lemonade, talking about what used to be.
It's so funny because I was just at my sister's house. It was like, it's so late, so light. It's light so late here because we're 49th parallel.
We're close to the sun.
Yep. And exactly. And it was, so I guess it was like 8 o'clock, but it's still super light out. And one of the dogs barked and she shushed and she was like, no, it's too loud. And I was like, it's light out. It's like 8 o'clock. Was this a retirement community? And she was like, yes, it's very quiet around here.
It is very quiet.
Very quiet.
Yeah.
Which is part of the restorative relaxation thing, but I don't know how long term I could take it.
No, I like being
right
loud.
Now, it's great. I like being loud too. I like being loud at like 4 a.m. sometimes.
Fuck yes.
They wouldn't like it if I moved here.
No, everybody says, when are you guys getting a place here?
Yeah, you're looking at Zillow. Like, you don't want me to move here. I'd be a nightmare. Everyone would hate me in like a month.
Yeah. So we're doing Punk Rock Wednesday, where it's an all-day festival where tin cans are being thrown against fires. Yeah.
Yeah. They don't want us here.
Nah.
They just, yeah.
I like it here for the time being, though. It's tight.
Yeah.
Vegetables are tight is what I wanted to get to. Because, so the thing about Dan Barber and the thing about this place is he tries to get everything from his farms. So his story is like he started with his parents' farm and his brothers, wanted to keep it going. And then they started growing vegetables, and then it got seasonal. And then they were like, well, why just have vegetables? Let's have the cows for the milk, for the fertilizer. Well, if we're going to have the cows, we should have the chickens so that we have the eggs to the feed. And it just grew. And he was talking about how all of it just became, now we have goats, now we have pigs. And it was farm to table, but he thinks farm to table is kind of bullshit, which I think is interesting because the farmers are being forced to grow what we want to eat. So it's not enough that it's coming straight from the farm to the table. He's like, regionality and the idea that consumerism is driving what the farmers are forced to grow is bullshit. It should be like, you know what's hot in this region? This. Radishes. So we're going to make a fuckload of dishes with radishes and show you all the versatility of radish. And then we're going to ask the farmer to grow the most delicious radish he can grow in the soil that's meant for radishes, instead of saying we need butternut fucking squash because people order that shit, and then you're forced to grow it in a land where it's not going to be the most delicious. And he's like, farm to table is bullshit. Regionality is where it's at. And it kind of changed my thinking on just the marketing of the things I think I'm woke on.
Yeah, that's so interesting. It makes me think about how, like, you know, Gilroy, California is like the garlic capital.
Okay.
You know,
cool.
Our friend Amanda Duarte actually grew up in Gilroy, and they're known for garlic, and they have a garlic festival. And then there are other parts of California that are like, you know, an artichoke town or a tomato town. And I think that at a certain point was the way that it went, and then farm to table sort of became a thing maybe in the 80s. And yeah, and I don't know. I'd love to know more about it. We should have some folks on the pod to educate us a little more on, you know, what the realities of that are.
Well, it's really rad. And he was talking about how corn is essentially, it's like a fucking Hummer of a plant. It has to grow 1 million feet in the air before it even corns up, and then it takes all the nutrients and all the real estate. Like, it's just a fucking SUV vacuum for the rest of the
I think it's
land.
It's a cool crop in that sense too, because like weed, actually, it can leach poison and toxins out of soil. So you can like plant a field of corn or hemp, and then it will actually kind of restore the soil, remediate it by pulling all the toxins out, and then you just harvest that crop and you don't use it. I believe corn is this. Well, I don't know. I'm talking out my ass, but I'm pretty sure that's.
Say it like you mean it, and I'll believe you.
Well, I know that hemp does this. That you can actually plant it, and it will actually restore the soil by leaching all of that poison out of it. It's pretty incredible.
That's fucking cool.
Yeah.
A coffee filter for the earth.
Yeah.
Tight.
Neat, right?
See, that's what I'm talking about. Vegetables are tight.
Vegetables
I had no idea.
are tight.
I had no idea.
They're the unsung heroes of the plant world. No, that's
The plant world. Vegetables are the unsung heroes of the plant world.
shut up. Don't listen to me.
So to finish up this Dan Barber trip, so I'm still reading the book. It's called The Third Plate, and
Which is me at every buffet.
Hey. Let's keep it going. Hey.
Yep. Yep.
Oh man.
I didn't get this body by only doing 2 plates. Come on.
Yeah.
That's my pandemic plate. Third plate.
Third plate.
That's right.
The pit. That's really funny. Hey, Dan. So we wrote a follow-up composium to your veggie book or whatever it is.
Yeah, whatever. Read this Medium essay I wrote about it.
Oh, man. It doesn't matter.
I'm sorry, I've interrupted you so much. I'm just happy to talk to you.
I am too.
Okay.
Because of the magical people who live here in Port Townsend, we got to go to that one farm. I'm blanking on the fucking name.
Far Reaches Farm.
Far Reaches Farm.
Look them up.
Yo, okay, let's talk about them because I got to like act like I knew a couple of things because of this Dan Barber book with people who are the top seed people in the world. Like they're
so neat.
They do black market shit that they will not talk about. And I'm gonna go on record as saying like they have
No,
like
they don't.
they got secret dinosaur seeds from prehistoric times. There's no way they don't have like
There's definitely
secrets.
Yes, there's definitely secret society stuff there. Kelly and Sue from Far Reaches Farm, I think, met like on top of a mountain in Nepal or something, but they both had dedicated their lives to finding seeds and plants that were in remote locations that might be going extinct because of all the development happening and all over the fucking planet, and bringing these seeds and cuttings back to this incredible farm that they established together. And now they grow plants that botanists come from all over the world to see. And they're like, we saw a plant in a pot that was a prehistoric plant, and it's the only one that exists in North America.
That blew my mind. Blew my fucking mind.
Yeah.
Prehistoric. I saw like dinosaur shit.
Yeah.
And the only one in the country.
Yeah. I ate some weird marine low tide plant that tasted like an oyster.
That was amazing too. It was like salty and like mildly oystery.
Yeah.
Delicious.
Yeah.
Another one, you rub your hand on it and it smells like peanut butter.
Yeah, I didn't like that. It was so neat. They're so neat. And they have this incredible, like Archie was just zooming around. He was so happy that we walked through all of their greenhouses and their shade garden. And
Oh,
they
I
had
want to
a
tell you about
bonfire
something I
and-
learned.
What?
Okay, so I was learning a lot from him because once you have a couple, what are those things called?
Old fashions?
Thank you. Like I start loosening up and I just start asking things instead of like quietly walking around pensively going, I was like, how the fuck does this work? Like, how does this work? You have some magical plant from New Zealand next to another magical plant from Australia, next to a prehistoric plant that is hundreds of millions of years old. Like, how does this work? And he took me into the greenhouse and he showed me this little stem and he showed me a little slit in the bottom of the stem. And maybe you already know this. I didn't know this. But what they do is they pull back a little piece of the stem bark so that the white kind of, we'll call it nerves and tissue of the plant are available. And then they add a hormone to that little thing, to that little like nerve ending part of it. Because normally the tissue on top of it, just like if you got a paper cut, skin would grow over it. But that hormone changes the composition of that little nerve thing that they opened up to the world and changes the composition of it into roots and tricks that part, instead of growing new bark, into growing roots. And that is how a new plant is made.
Wow.
I had no idea.
Wow.
Did I do a good job explaining it?
Yeah, I think so.
How fucking cool is that?
So fucking cool.
Yeah.
Gardening is fucking cool.
Yo.
Yo.
Our master class, it's just like,
Guys, did you know? Oh my God.
it's not so much a master class as like a, wait, what?
These two fucking idiots.
So wait, what you're saying is,
Okay. Wait, what?
well,
So mulch. Let me get this right. And they're just like, get these fucking. They moved to Port Townsend and they bought a piece of land and they started a farm. They're literally the worst. They're loud. They're obnoxious. They have some fucking podcast. They're up all night.
Seattle said you're
Hooting
not
and
staying
hollering.
here.
Yeah.
Port Townsend said you can't stay here
No.
either. Yeah,
Yeah.
we create our own chop situation. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Cool though, right?
Very fucking cool.
And I was like, so do you just buy hormones in bulk? And he was like, yeah, we just have drums of hormones.
Wow.
And, you know, some take, some don't, but you dial it all in and then it's boom, 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 boom. And I was like, man, where can I buy a drum of hormones? And what would happen if I like cut my finger and I decided to trick my body instead of making skin in a scab into growing hair.
Maybe.
Like, is that possible?
Or maybe you would become like an Ent from Lord of the Rings, you know, like Treebeard.
That's what I'm telling you.
You turn into a big tree.
I'm halfway there.
Yeah, I mean, look, everyone's like, is that beard all you?
Yes, it is.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, yo, it's fucking cool.
It is fucking cool. Those guys are so fucking cool. Did you see the top of their gazebo? It was like all crazy succulents and stuff. Like just looking at all of the things. There was one plant that I went over and I actually watched it unfold as the moon rose. It's called an evening primrose. And you watch it open. It
Wow.
was crazy
Really?
amazing. It was
We
so
have hella
trippy.
pictures we can drop with this app, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, tight.
And gooseberries. I wanted to.
Fuck a gooseberry.
No, listen. I mean, yeah, you weren't a fan, right? Tart as hell.
So tart.
But I did text Laura Ann of Laura Ann's Jams to ask if she had ever done anything with gooseberries. I was like, I have pounds of them right now. I could get them to you and you could do something. But anyway,
She said no?
future collabs.
She said no, they're too tart.
She did not say. She didn't say anything. She was just like, sounds great. I was like, we need to be friends. Hello. I'm saying it on the podcast.
I like the idea of you texting her being like, I have all these gooseberries. You should do something with them. She's like,
Yeah.
oh, homework. Oh, did you
great.
just text me to give me homework?
A word? You think you know something about my life? Like I said, we're the worst.
We are the worst.
Hey, I have an idea for your thing that you do so well that you've become famous in 2 different careers. Let me just give you some advice.
Wow.
Gooseberries.
And she,
She's like,
cool.
great. Thanks for the tip.
Or
Or I'll just keep doing my own thing so well that I fucking slay and you can shut up. Also, I don't need new friends.
oh man, that's funny as hell.
Oh, jeez.
That's so good. You want to do some news?
Yeah.
Let's do some news. We got
Let's do
some hot news.
Oh, fuck yes. I'm so excited about this. So we have Danny Danko, friend of the pod, and 3 other ex-colleagues from High Times magazine have started a new cannabis media publication.
They are no longer associated with High Times.
They're no longer associated with High Times, and they are now working for a new magazine that is called Northeast Leaf.
Northeast Leaf.
Northeast Leaf. So the story, which was reported on Yahoo, so fucking big news actually,
Damn.
is former High Times staffers launch new cannabis media brand. It's a free monthly print mag, fucking awesome, focused on the growing cannabis communities and businesses in the 8 states of the Northeast, because there's a Northwest Leaf that's, covers California and Washington and Oregon, I'm imagining. This will be New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, Rhode Island, Massachusetts, Vermont, New Hampshire, and Maine.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome, especially as more and more of those states dial in and start voting to pass legislation that makes cannabis legal.
Well, they all do have legal cannabis.
New York?
Those states all have, medical.
Medical.
New York has medical. And they either have medical or fully rec, like Massachusetts has rec.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Man,
Yeah.
what up, Danko?
What up, fucking... So it's Dan Vinkovetsky,
Okay.
previously known as Danny Danko. Mike G, who was the editor-in-chief of High Times for a long time. And then Pete Thompson, shout out Pete, also a friend of the pod. And Mike Cherhoniak, who's like... I fucking loved working with that guy years ago.
Really?
Yeah, just like solid, good folks who really care
That's awesome.
about weed.
So the news this week is that good people are making good things to make the world a good place.
Yeah, and that there is a new cannabis media brand coming up to cover the Northeast. It's just so fucking great.
That is awesome.
It's awesome.
All right. I like when people make things.
Yeah, I like when good people fucking get ahead too.
That's what's up. Oh, man. Good news all around.
Yeah.
Okay. Can you say something while I take a bite of the salad?
Yes, I can. Oh, fucking. So that salad, New York Times cooking. I had eaten a grilled cheese for lunch and I was with my sis today and I was like, I am just feeling like I am sweating butter. And she was like, I'll make us a salad for dinner. As a New York Times cooking recipe, grilled corn and avocado with a feta dressing. So fucking good, right?
Lemony. Is there a squeeze in there?
There's lemon. There's grilled scallions.
Really?
Yep. So fucking good.
Grilled corn is a game changer for me.
Hell yes.
It's not something I ever grew up with. I grew up with a frozen bag. You throw in a little dash of water, throw in the microwave 2.5 minutes, put it on a plate, add some margarine, let that melt, and put it in your mouth with a crack of salt.
Yeah.
Grilled corn is not that.
No. I mean, she grilled it and she pulled it off the grill and she actually had to take it away from me because I was gnawing on a cob before she could even get it into the salad. I was like, "Nyang, nyang, nyang, nyang," and she was like, Jesus, what's wrong with you? And I was like, I haven't had fresh corn. I've been in lockdown. Don't you know? I've been in LA in lockdown. We don't have fresh corn. Anyway, no, it's not like I suffered. I mean, I ate so fucking well.
It's so funny to picture her putting it on the counter, turning around to like pour a glass of wine and turning back,
like,
and you're in the corner like Gollum, just with a fish.
That's exactly what I was like. Exactly what I was like. I did have one other little piece of news that I actually wanted to shout out real quick. Our friend Courtney Nichols of Disco Dining Club has also launched a new thing. It's called Of the Night. And it's fucking so cool. So you can follow at ofthenight.club on IG, and they're thematic party in a box offerings that you can have shipped to your house in LA or Portland. And they're partnering with local chefs and purveyors of all sorts of cool shit and artists. And basically every box will have snacks, beverages, decor, costuming, activities, and more. And then 10% of the proceeds are going to an amazing group of charities that they're supporting as well. So
you need that in your life.
yeah, it's so fucking cool. The shit she's making is crazy. Right now they have a slumber party box,
Nice.
a psychedelia box, and like a gnome garden box. And I don't know what any of them involve exactly.
I don't know what that is either.
I just went and tooled around a little bit on the website. I was so excited. She just launched it today. So congrats to Disco Dining Club, Courtney, and Of the Night .club. Go check it out.
Tight.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Man, she only has big ideas.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Consume everything. I mean, that's her motto.
Totally.
Yep.
Speaking of, do I have corn in my teeth?
A little bit.
Okay.
On your lower gum.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh,
Were you
man.
corn loading, Mike?
Yeah, I'm corn loading again.
I did like the night before we left LA to drive up here. We made a dish that was like kind of like a pad thai situation with almond butter instead of peanuts. I don't even remember what it, but it had
Yeah, it was like pad thai with almond butter and a bunch of corn and scallions and shredded carrot. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Corn being the operative
Tons of corn.
thing because we were corn loading for our road trip.
I think it's brilliant.
Okay.
I think it's brilliant.
Let's get into it a little bit.
Cool. Well,
Okay.
The thing is, we drove from LA up here, and it's about an 18 to 24-hour drive.
Mm-hmm.
But because of wanting to stay as quarantined as possible, our goal was to only stop for gas, to sleep at rest stops, and if we had to pee or something on the side of the road. Mm-hmm. Those were the goals. So we packed up the Yeti with a shitload of food and a shitload of drinks and a shitload of coffee so that we could hit the road and only stop for those three things. But I was poop nervous the night before because I was like, oh no, I don't want to go to a gas station. I don't want to go to a Target. I don't want to go anywhere on the road where I don't know what the controlled bathroom situation is. Mm-hmm. So we did corn loading.
Yeah. Where we couldn't leave our house until we had pooped out every last piece of corn from the meal the night before, so we would know that our systems were clean.
Yeah.
It was like using a pipe cleaner, basically.
Yeah, it's like it's like emptying out the trash, and then you know that the bag is empty.
Yeah, you can count the kernels of corn on the other end to know that you're going to be okay for the road trip and you're not going to have to poop. Mm-hmm. Did it work?
Yeah, I didn't poop once. It was brilliant.
Truly?
For 24 hours.
Wow.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Because I knew I could tell through corn loading what my
Sorry.
how much of my corn loading needed to still be unloaded before we hit the road. Mm-hmm. And then after that,
Yeah.
I think corn loading is brilliant.
It was great.
Yeah, I anyone who wants to take a road trip and is nervous about COVID,
Yeah.
corn load.
Just eat a shitload of corn load, count the kernels, and you'll be fine.
Because you can tell.
You can.
You know what's happening when you're out of kernels or not.
Yeah. I really like tracking my digestive health by the vegetable intake and then what happens on the other end. Like, corn loading, great.
Yep.
Beets, Oh my God, am I dying? Oh no, it's just beets.
Yeah.
Yep.
I like a hearty leafy green
Oh,
that like when you see it again, you're like, okay, like things are moving. There's no corks in the wine bottle.
right.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes Archie will eat grass and then he'll have like really interesting poops that look like knit work.
Really?
Yeah.
What, like like lattice on a pie?
Yeah. It's weird. And then there's sometimes I don't want to get too much into his poop. I see a lot of it because I pick it all up. So, I'm
And you kneel
always
down when he
examining it.
hunches. You kneel down in front of it.
Yeah, I have a little loop. I'm like, how's he doing? He's good today.
A pooper's loop.
A poop loop? I do have a loop that I use to look at my weed plant. I could just repurpose it.
For poop looping.
A poop loop? I should wear it on a little
so
fucking
funny.
chain around my neck, like a monocle. This is just my poop loop.
No one wants us to live anywhere.
No, nobody wants me to live anywhere. I make noises when I read. I'm late. I'm up late. I make too much noise. I have a poop loop. Ah, Jesus. Nobody wants me to be their neighbor. Nobody wants it.
Man, that's so fucking
Terrible.
funny. Yeah, but also great.
I mean, I'm glad you tolerate it.
I think it's hilarious. If I saw a grown woman hunched
Yeah.
with her dog poop looping,
Yeah.
I would immediately not want to be your friend, but I would tell everyone about you because what a rare sight to see.
Yeah.
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 That's great.
Heard. Okay. Well, I'm not going to be out poop looping in public, but I do look at his poop very closely.
Putting that little thing that you touch to the diamond that turns from red to green.
What?
So that you know the diamond's real, like Julius will put a little thing on it that tests it for purity and it turns from red to green. Like counterfeit. Like it's a counterfeit kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah. So the whole bit that I was going to go into was one, but about your dog.
His poop.
Right.
I think it's definitely, yeah. I think people who have children, I've never experienced it because I don't have kids, but you really examine their poop a lot to make sure
bet.
that they're feeling okay.
Do you know what I love?
What?
Recently, I've been seeing a lot of friends and acquaintances on social media posting pictures of them holding babies.
Oh.
And the very first sentence from all of them is like, love being an aunt, not my kid, just my niece. Like it's like right out of the gate, such a very clear, no, just holding it, but happy to hold, but it is not mine. Thank you so much. Like I love the clarity of somebody who's just like, nope.
Yep. Not mine. Here's my photo op and then I'll hand it off.
Exactly.
Yeah. I would definitely, whenever I'm
65
around.
likes and thank you.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. I make sure I snap a selfie whenever I'm with my friends' children.
But when you post it,
look,
do you,
I can hold a baby. No one's going to, what? I'm okay. I'm fine. I'm functioning.
you palm its head like a basketball next to you?
I definitely do have several pictures of me holding babies with a glass of wine. And I'm like, I maybe should put the wine down when I'm holding babies.
Have the baby hold it so you have both hands free. That's a better choice.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like let both, that has to work its little dexterous muscles, get those tendons going early. When do you post them? Do you come out the gate saying like,
Oh, I made the biggest mistake. I took a picture of a friend's baby and posted it, and she got in touch with me and she was like, yo, no. And I was like, oh,
what's the yo no?
don't post pictures of other people's children on your social media. Ever.
Why?
Because it's just bad fucking manners.
No.
There are a lot of people who don't want their kids on social media. Yeah, 100%. Don't do it. Don't ever take a picture of someone else's child and put it on social media.
You can't dox
Ever.
a baby. You can't dox a baby.
Don't fight me on this, Mike. I'm telling you something that you should know as a person in the world who has
Have
social
you ever
media.
seen me hold a baby?
No, I've never even seen you. You cross the street if you see a baby.
That's actually true. I can't handle it.
You take your phone out and look at your phone and cross the street.
I do.
You're like, I'm
every
out of
time.
here.
Yep.
I'm out of
do.
here.
Like it happens before I realize I do it. Mm-hmm. And then I'm like, oh shit, I'm over here now.
Wow. It's like those jumping spiders. Like, whoop, oh, it's over there all of a sudden.
I didn't know you're not allowed to dox kids, or you're not allowed to post pictures of kids because all my friends are doing it. They're just calling out that it's not theirs.
Well, they probably have permission from those children's parents.
You're saying you have to ask.
Yes.
I am so surprised by that.
Yeah. It's just something that it's another thing that you should think about with social media. Like,
When she said it to you, were you taken aback and like, fuck you, what the fuck? Or were you like, I'm so sorry?
oh my God, I was horrified. I was like, oh God, I'm so sorry. And she was like, yeah, it's just, we're just trying to keep it all to ourselves right now. And I was like, I totally get that. And I totally didn't mean to. And Wow, lesson learned.
They're keeping it for their own likes is why. They don't want
Sure.
the like. They don't want
I mean, that
the
is a
dilution
beautiful
of
baby.
likes.
I could have gotten some serious likes from that baby. But
That's why they do it. It has not. They're out there posting like pictures of like bullshit. Like,
no,
like,
I don't even want to fight with you about it because
All right.
like the truth of it is like it's a really good another sort of branch of like considerateness for other people in the world, of like consideration of like what you're putting on your social media that could affect someone else's fucking life, you know?
That's interesting.
Yeah. So I don't want to be kind of cavalier about it because it's, I don't know.
It is
I took it
weird.
pretty seriously. I was like, ooh,
I think you're right.
fuck.
Because it is uncomfortable that my first thought when, like our first, not mine, but like people's first thought when they hold a baby is, I'm holding a baby. And their second thought is, I should post me holding this baby. That is fucking weird.
Yeah, I mean, sometimes it's just like bursting with joy. I mean, there's definitely, I have a picture of me with another friend's baby where I like, my friend wasn't feeling well and she was like, can you just come and take the baby for a couple of hours? And I was like, whoa. And so I found myself wearing a baby in Brooklyn, which is crazy. And I took a picture of myself, asked if I could post it. She said, okay. You know, I felt very proud to like have that picture because on some level there is a need that I have to like show the world that like I'm okay with kids, like
Totally.
I'm proud and happy, and it was a really cute pic. And but yeah, there's something else under it too where you're like, yeah, doing it for attention, doing it for likes. I don't know.
I get it though. There is like a thing inside me that has the desire to mold a kid into a good human being for the rest of the world. I just don't think the world needs any more human beings right now. But that's not to say I don't think I'd do a good job at it.
Sure.
You know?
I think you'd be very responsible and like very hands-on.
Probably overprotective.
I mean,
I'm a nervous dude.
Bobo loves you because you take like the time to like deal with him on his own terms, which I think most people don't. So I can imagine with like a human baby.
Yeah, where's the line between like listening to them and like going with their flow and being like, yo, I don't like, no, like I need to just like
Yeah.
handle this.
Oh.
And I don't know.
I think that's so interesting because I learned this from being a nanny and just watching my friends parent. There's a developmental stage up to which you don't reason or say no ever. You were just attuned to all of their needs and you fucking meet them, and that's it. And it's quite a long time. And I don't know where the cutoff is, but there is a point where you start like sleep training and, you know, like teaching them to like, you know, do certain things where they actually can react and respond because their brains are developed enough. But there's like a whole fucking stretch, like maybe even the first year, where you are just attuned to their needs and meeting them at all times and never saying no if possible.
Wow.
Isn't that nuts?
It is nuts. Well,
Yeah.
because it immediately opens up, like, we talk about serial killers so much and like sociopaths and psycho. Like, you know.
They just didn't have their needs met, you think?
Yeah, of course.
Maybe.
Yeah, like it just like certain doors were closed and locked before they even had an opportunity to crack open.
Yeah.
That's crazy
It's
interesting.
fascinating. You know, I just that makes me think I just saw a thing on Facebook of a list of serial killers and their horoscope, their sun signs. Mm-hmm. I can never remember which sun sign, star sign, whichever the, you know, like I'm an Aries. What is that, sun sign? I always fucking forget.
You're asking someone who thinks that's not interesting.
You're right. Okay. But what was interesting was that they were all like 3 signs. All of them.
No shit.
Yeah. A list of like 25 serial killers. And they were all Geminis. And I don't know what else.
And like sun sign
And
something,
Pisces.
something.
I was like, oh, that's interesting. No Aries in there. I'm an Aries. Oh, I guess I'm fine. I mean, weird
It'd be
tendencies.
so funny. You go to the doctor and it's like, we don't want to know the sex. We just want to know the sun sign.
Yeah.
Because if we have this kid too early or too late,
Could be a serial killer.
Could be a serial killer.
Can't have it in March. Got to stay in there till April. Got to stay in there.
yeah, the doctor's like, okay, it looks like you are going to be, nope.
Got to induce early or have it late.
Yeah, but we're keeping that thing plugged. You go to some shaman doctor. I think that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to have a good mix of spirituality and medical efficiency. You need to go see like shaman doctors for your pregnancy to make sure your stars are lined up for like enriching successful youth and not serial killers.
Sure.
I think that's a good idea.
Okay.
It's a great racket.
This is your birth plan?
Yeah.
Everyone listen to my classes. This is how we do it.
I'm the Gary V
Oh, no.
of astrology pregnancy.
I can't with that guy. He's too nuts for me. Can't.
No?
Nope. Can't do it.
Why? We saw a Big Dipper out. We saw stars last night.
Yeah, I did. see stars.
My dad loves to point out Orion's belt. Is that a dad thing, you think? My dad loves to point out Orion's
Wait,
belt.
how do we get to that from Gary Vee?
Oh, because I was thinking about stars, like the Gary Vee of astrology.
Oh, okay. Yes. The Orion's belt, I mean, there's like a few constellations that anyone can point out, right? The Big Dipper and Orion. And that's it. And
Yeah.
you know what they look like.
Yeah, sometimes he'll point to Mars as a joke, but it's a blinking tower.
Oh, okay. That's a good one.
That's a funny dad joke.
Yeah.
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 Yeah. Oh man, I'd love to hear if any fathers out there love to point out Orion's belt.
Of course they do. They all do. It's a total dad thing. Yeah.
I just think it's so funny.
Yeah.
Dads all over the world coming together to point out Orion's belt.
Totally.
During Dad Fest 2021, when all the dads all over the world come outside and point as one fatherly union at Orion's belt.
Did your dad teach you how to find the North Star?
No, I don't know how to do that.
Okay.
What is that?
You use it finding the Big Dipper. You can orient by lining up a couple of the stars, and then it's like straight up from there.
From the cup or the handle?
From the Dipper.
The Dipper's
think.
handle or the Dipper's cup?
From the front end of the Dipper, I think.
Okay.
From those two stars, you line them up,
Uh-huh.
and then you draw a line up, and the North Star. I think, but I might be wrong. But my dad taught me when I was a kid.
That's fucking
Clearly,
cool.
I've forgotten.
No, I think that's cool. I'll try it tonight. I'll just look straight up, and if it's there you go.
You'll know it.
The North Star thing is so, I don't know. I
What?
feel like I feel like just humanity loses their, like my sense of direction. I can get back,
Okay.
but I don't think if I looked at the North Star, I'd be like, got it.
Right, but you've been raised on cell phones and the internet, so you've never had the need to orient yourself. And also, you're a city kid, so you never had to learn which way was anything.
I just know where a big tower is or a water lit thing is. or
Right,
something
you
like
orient
that.
using objects. You don't orient using celestial bodies. Whereas, like, I always fucking know which way east and west are because of just how, like, where I grew up and how I was taught.
What do you use?
The sun.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No shit.
Yeah.
The sun's.
Just wherever it is in the sky at any time, I know which direction anything is.
No, I know, but
Always.
when it goes down, it sets in the west. Rises in the east. Okay. But that drives me fucking nuts, actually, Mary Jane. I'm so glad we're talking about this. 'Cause
Why?
I've asked you for directions before, and you're like, head east. And I'm like, fuck you. I don't even know what that fucking means.
It's so funny. I had a fucking moment when I was out on Long Island with some friends. We were going on a canoe trip, and my friend was driving, and she was going the wrong way, and she was following the blue dot on her cell phone. And I knew that we were going the wrong way, and I said we were going the wrong way, but I wasn't driving, and it wasn't my job to be a fucking backseat driver, and we went like way out of the way. And I was like, it's the other direction. And she was like, no, the map says this. And then finally she was like, oh, the map's wrong. And she had to turn around. We had to do this whole big thing. It was like, whatever, 15 or 20 miles. And she was like, well, how did you know? And I was like, because of the sun. Like, I knew we were supposed to be going east when we were headed west. And everyone in the car was like, what? And I was like, what? It was just like this crazy moment where they were all like, and I was like, what's happening right now? Like, how do you all, but it's just different when you're raised in the city and you're raised with internet and cell phone service and you orient using objects. It's just super fucking different.
It's so crazy to me. Yeah. When I hear the word east, I'm like, is that right?
Yeah.
Dear God, what does that mean? Yeah.
Yeah. Like in this house right now, do you know directions here at all?
I don't.
Okay. Interesting. Because the sun is rising that way in the morning.
Okay, for a front door.
And then setting in the garden.
In the back. So if you're so it's going from front door to back door.
Yep.
Is the sun is.
Yeah, the front door faces east.
Got
And
it.
the back of the house faces west.
I had no idea. Fuck, man.
Yeah.
Damn. All right.
And now we know.
I like that.
It is. It's cool. It's definitely like, if you're feeling lost in a foreign land, and you can at least find that out and figure out also which way whatever body of water is nearby. It's helpful.
See, I'd do fine on that Netflix show alone.
Oh.
I would do great.
Yeah.
I'd be like, North Star, boom.
I spent a day at Far Reaches Farm. I know what I can eat.
Cut to 3 minutes later. Guys, I was corn loading and this is not so...
Well.
Hey, we're coming up on a little bit of time. You want to do some buds of the week and dip?
Yes, I do want to do some buds of the week and dip.
All right, let's do some buds of the week.
Okay, are you going to go first or am I?
I don't have a preference, but I'm pulling mine up.
Okay, I'm pulling mine up right now, and it's actually our host, basically, Amy and Greg, whose house we're staying in. Amy is AJ Grondin on Instagram, and she and Greg are in Alaska fishing on the Arminta, which is their salmon boat, and they're just so wonderful, and their house is so cool and full of cool things and great photos and stories, and it's just so neat, and I'm so grateful to be here. And it's like having this beautiful garden and getting outside. I made fucking raspberry crisp with raspberries that we picked from the garden the other day. It's truly wonderful. And
a hummingbird looked at you like, the fuck you doing back here?
That was so cool. I got a cup of coffee and I just went and stood out on the back step, and it kind of zoomed. It was like a Disney moment. It came up and it was like, and then it was like 2 feet away from me, maybe just hanging out, and then came around to the side to sort of examine me from the profile. It was like being scanned or something.
I was just
really
going to say,
crazy.
like the CIA, like, because we're on some lists by now.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
We're on all the lists.
Send the hummingbird drones just to make sure they're only picking raspberries.
Totally.
Yeah,
exactly. It was wild, and hummingbirds are wild and loud and amazing. So, at AJ Grondin on IG, follow her for some cool posts from Alaska. And thank you, Amy and Greg. This place is amazing. And it's just really cool. Also, your like design aesthetic is very fucking awesome. It's like warm and great colors and an amazing kitchen. Oh.
All of the birds died in 1986 due to Reagan killing them and replacing them with spies that are now watching us. The birds work for the bourgeoisie, don't.
What was that?
Have you ever heard that before?
No.
That meme, the birds work for the bourgeoisie.
No.
You just made me think of it because the hummingbirds back there scanning you for CIA confirmation.
Crazy. Well, that's my butt of the week.
That's a great butt of the week. And also I want to say to them, thank you for letting me borrow your book on Dan Barber, which I found in your stacks upon stacks of books because she did South by Southwest in 2018 on a panel with Dan.
Yes.
And
yeah.
That's so fucking cool.
It is so fucking cool. Amy is involved in the slow food movement, and she and Greg sell their salmon to local restaurants, and they're just like, yeah, fucking super cool, doing cool stuff in all sorts of ways.
I hope they're having the most successful fishing time right now.
Season.
Thank you. The most successful fishing season right now. Fucking exciting.
Yeah.
Really cool people. All right. My butt of the week this week is the hilarious Del Harrison.
Yes.
I just bought her album for the road trip up here. Excuse me. It's so good. It's called Oh Yeah Girl. And her Instagram is I am Del Harrison. Excuse me. So it is I am Del, D-E-L, and then Harrison has 2 R's. Oh Yeah Girl is a sick, sick album. It's her first album. She can sing like a motherfucker. I got it. Her birthday was recently. So if you're looking to do a good thing for somebody new in your life, go buy Del's album and support great comedians who are following their dreams.
Yeah.
This was a good ep.
This is really fun.
Yeah. Thanks for listening, everybody.
Fun to hang out and chat with you, Mike.
Yeah. Thank you for the delicious salad.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out to everybody out there. I hope you're all staying safe and cozy and hanging in the best you can.
Yeah, shout out Wanamaka. Our friend Jordan she's in Appalachia right now on a hammock reading books next to a lake. I think it's like maybe a good time, if you can just like get into some place where you can breathe a little fresh air. Like I just wish that everyone has that for themselves in some way.
Mm-hmm. Same.
Be it a fire escape or, a lake or a shoreline walk or a time in the woods.
Do you think she's going, mm-hmm?
Oh yeah, she's definitely reading. She's licking her finger and turning each page and then going, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
It's like a coloring book.
Mm-hmm. Oh. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Definitely not a coloring book, but yeah, it's so good.
Thanks for hanging with us, everybody. Follow us at Weed and Grub on Instagram. Email us at wg@weedandgrub.com. I don't know. Have good days as good as you can right now.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.